and he has done this research with great passion, and this is a very highly technical, and it is not like something writing a story or collection of information and presenting it with copy-paste techniques. This will never happen, and as you all know now that plagiarism check is there, so everything should be original, and you yourself will now understand what the work has been done by Syamkumar, and people who have read the thesis will be able to understand more his presentation. Even if not, you will understand whatever is being said. Now, I request Syamkumar, Rayadurgam Syamkumar, to make a presentation of his thesis. Please feel free to express in both bilingual, like you can be in English, you can make yourself comfortable with Telugu also.
Good morning, Bhagana. Today, my was. Thanks for your coming here and being here. The topic is relation between melody, text and tala in the select compositions of Shama Shastri. Introduction about my thesis. Shama Shastri is one among the music trinity. He composed Gitas, Swarajatis, Varnas and Kritis. Compositions in languages Telugu, Sanskrit, Tamil with the mudra of Shama Krishna. Composed in classical Rakti Ragas, Rakti and Raya Ragas. Songs are set in talas such as Adi, Rupaka, Mishra Chapu, Viloma Chapu, and a few from the set of 32 talas. Aim and objectives in this thesis: study the melodic and rhythmic aspects of select compositions, relationship between text and tala and melody in Swarajatis and select kritis, estimate his musical excellence. Chapters in this thesis: Chapter 1, Introduction; Chapter 2, Shama Shastri Compositions; Chapter 3, Study of Swarajatis of Shama Shastri; Chapter 4, Study of Select Kritis of Shama Shastri; Chapter 5 is Conclusion. Compositions chosen for study, like this Swarajatis, 3 Swarajatis I have taken, that is called Ratnatrayam, 3 gems of Shama Shastri Swarajatis. One is Kamakshi, Bhairavi Raga, Mishra Chapu, and second one is Kamakshi, Ni Padayogame, Edukulu Kampujararam, Mishra Chapu, and third one is Rave Himagiri Kumari, Todi Ragam, Aditalam. Compositions chosen for study, Kritis. ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పినవి స్వరజతిస్ 3, ఇప్పుడు కృతిలో. కృతిస్లో 6 కృతిస్ నేను తీసుకున్నాను. 6లో మొదటిది ఫస్ట్ వన్ శంకర శంకరు, సావేరి రాగం, ఆదితాళం, త్రిశ్రగతి. నెంబర్ 2 కామాక్షి, పాలించి కామాక్షి, మధ్యమావతి రాగం, ఆదితాళం, 2 కళ అంటారు, 2 కళ చౌక. థర్డ్ వన్ సరోజదళ నేత్రి, శంకరాభరణం రాగం, ఆదితాళం, 2 కళ చౌక, 2 కళ. ఫోర్త్ వన్ మరవేరే గతి బ్రహ్మ, ఆనందభైరవి రాగం, మిశ్ర చాపు. అండ్ ఫిఫ్త్ వన్ నిన్ను వినగమని, పూర్వీ కళ్యాణి, విలోమ చాపు రాగం, విలోమ చాపు తాళం సారి. అండ్ సిక్స్త్ వన్ సరీ బ్రహ్మ, భైరవి రాగం, ఖండచాపు, చంపతాళం. అనాలిసిస్ మెథడ్ నేను ఎలా అయితే అనాలిసిస్ చేస్తానో ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ కాంపోజిషన్ లైక్ దిస్, ఈ విధంగా ఉంటుంది ప్యాటర్న్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ కామాక్షి, భైరవి స్వరజతిలో కామాక్షి భైరవి తీసుకుంటే అందులో ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ లైన్, ఎవ్రీ వర్డ్ ఎలా స్ప్లిట్ అవుతుంది, ఒక్కొక్క వర్డ్కి తాళానికి ఎలా సెట్ అవుతుంది, మెలోడీ పార్ట్కి ఎలా సెట్ అవుతుంది, అదే ఈ విధంగా నేను చేస్తున్నాను. అందులో మొదటిది కామాక్షి స్వరజతి భైరవి రాగంలో ఉన్నది. అది అందులో 3.1.1 పల్లవి, 3.1.1.1 పల్లవి అబ్జర్వేషన్స్. ఆ పల్లవిలో నేనేం అబ్జర్వ్ చేశాను అనేది నేను దానిలో ఇంక్లూడ్ చేశాను. చరణ నెంబర్ 1, చరణలో అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఏమి వస్తాయి. తర్వాత చరణ సమ్మరీ, చరణ 2 అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అండ్ చరణ సమ్మరీ, చరణ 3 అండ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అండ్ సమ్మరీ ఇలా ఉంటుంది. కృతి ఈ విధంగా సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్లో నిండు వినగ మరి పూర్వీ కళ్యాణి, అందులో 4.1 5.1లో పల్లవి ఫస్ట్ లైన్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ పల్లవి ఫస్ట్ లైన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఏముంటాయి అనేది అందులో పెట్టాను. ఆ పల్లవిలో కూడా ఒక్క లైన్కి 3 or 4 వర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఎవ్రీ వర్డ్ తీసుకొని ఎవ్రీ వర్డ్ని కరెక్ట్గా స్ప్లిట్ చేసి ఆ స్ప్లిట్టింగ్కి తగినట్టు తాళం ఎట్లా వస్తుంది, ఆ స్ప్లిట్టింగ్కి తగిన స్వరం ఏమొస్తుంది, అదే స్వరం అంటే మెలోడిక్ పార్ట్ ఏమొస్తుంది అంతా చేస్తున్నాను. పల్లవి ఫస్ట్ లైన్, పల్లవి అబ్జర్వేషన్స్, పల్లవి సెకండ్ లైన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్, అనుపల్లవి ఫస్ట్ లైన్, అనుపల్లవి ఫస్ట్ లైన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్, అనుపల్లవి సెకండ్ లైన్ అండ్ అనుపల్లవి సెకండ్ లైన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్, చరణ ఫస్ట్ లైన్, చరణ సెకండ్ లైన్, సేమ్ లైక్ దిస్, సేమ్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఎవ్రీ కృతి అండ్ ఎవ్రీ కాంపోజిషన్. చరణ సెకండ్ లైన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్లో ఇవంతా చేస్తున్నాను. నోటబుల్ ఫైండింగ్స్, నేనేం నోట్ చేశాను ఈ ఫైండింగ్స్ దీంట్లోనే. కంపోజిషన్స్ ఆఫ్ శ్యామా శాస్త్రి క్యారీ ఏ హై ఆర్డర్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఇన్ ద construction but expressed in a most simple manner. ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేసేదేమో పాడేదేమో ఈజీగానే ఉంటుంది, బట్ లోపల తీస్తే అసలు ఎన్నో విషయాలు నాకు అర్థమయ్యాయి. ఇందులో సింపుల్గా ఒక పాడతాను. శంకరి శంకురు చంద్రముఖి అఖిలాండేశ్వరి శంకురు చంద్రముఖి అఖిలాండేశ్వరి శాంభవి సరసిజ భవవందితే గౌరీ ఇలా సింపుల్గానే ఉంటుంది, బట్ లోపల దాన్ని ఒక్కొక్క పదాన్ని విడదీసి ఒక్కొక్క పదాన్ని స్ప్లిట్ చేసి ఆ స్ప్లిట్టింగ్లో ఏ స్వరాలు వస్తాయి, ఆ స్ప్లిట్టింగ్లో ఆ తాళం ఎట్లా సెట్ అవుతుంది అనేది ఈ రీసెర్చ్. ద మెలోడీ ఆఫ్ ద సాంగ్స్ ఆర్ ఇంటర్వైన్డ్ విత్ ఫుల్ రిచ్ రాగభావ ఫ్రేజెస్. రాగభావ కూడా అద్భుతంగా ఎవ్రీ కంపోజిషన్లో ఆ రాగానికి సంబంధించిన మొత్తం స్ట్రక్చర్ అంతా అందులో పొందుపరిచారు శ్యామశాస్త్రి వారు. చాలా అద్భుతంగా రాగభావం అట్లే ఫస్ట్ లైన్ పాడితేనే మనకి ఆ రాగం యొక్క అవుట్లైన్ తెలిసిపోతుంది. అంతలా చాలా బాగుంది. Suraksharas have been also employed extensively, thereby showing the ability of the composer to bring melody and text together. The placement of the Sahitya words into a Tala frame is very symmetrical and logical. దీంట్లో చెప్పినట్లుగానే ఒక్కొక్క వర్డ్కి సిమెట్రికల్గా సెట్ అయినాయి. The absence of Sahitya occurs at similar subunits or units of Tala avartas. The composer has used words as lyrics in an intelligible manner of employing Sandhi and Samas. సంధులు సమాసాలు కూడా చాలా తెలుగు గ్రామర్ ప్రకారంగా యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. యాజ్ పర్ గ్రామటికల్ రూల్స్ there is always a concordance in the Sahitya and the melody, whereas there is less agreement with the words and the Tala. It is probably for the reason that the songs are felt thought to learn for beginners of music. వెరీ టఫ్ నేర్చుకోవడం కూడా, శ్యామశాస్త్రి రచనలు నేర్చుకోవడం కూడా చాలా కష్టం. ఎంతో కొంత చాలా జ్ఞానం ఉంటే తప్ప అర్థం అరవై పాటలు పాడడం జంగాసన కూతురు పాడేదానికి అంతే సులభమైతే కాదు. ద proportionality and balance is seen uniformly at all sections of his compositions. Thank you very much. ఒక చిన్న స్వామి అదే సార్ సాంగ్ తీసుకొని అనౌన్స్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. నిన్ను వినా గమరి దికెవరు నారు. ఇది నిన్ను వినగ మరి పూర్వీక అనే రాగం విలోమ చాపు తాళంలో ఉంటుంది. అంటే రివర్స్ ప్యాటర్న్, అంటే తక్కిట తక్క ధీమి, ఇది మిశ్ర చాపు. తక్క ధీమి తక్కిట, ఇది రివర్స్, అంటే విలోమ చాపు. ఈ తాళంలో ఈ సాంగ్ని శ్యామశాస్త్రి వారు కంపోజ్ చేశారు. పల్లవేమో చక్కెర తర్వాత తక్కలో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, అనుపల్లవి ధిమిలో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, అనుపల్లవి కూడా తక్కలో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, చరణం ధిమిలో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఎలా చూడండి సార్. నిన్ను వినా గమరి దికెవరు నారు, నిన్ను వినా గమరి దికెవరు నారు, నీఖిలలోక జనని నన్ను చూడకు. లాస్ట్ టైమింగ్ కూడా కరెక్ట్గా మ్యాచ్ అవుతుంది. నిన్ను వినా గమరి అలా సార్. అనుపల్లి కూడా సేమ్ దగ్గర తర్వాత సన్నగభూషణుడైన కాంచి ఏకాంబ్ర, పన్నగభూషణుడైన కాంచి ఏకాంబ్ర, పన్నగభూషణుడైన కాంచి ఏకాంబ్ర, పతి మనోహరిణి సీతామాక్షి. మన పల్లవి నిన్ను వినా గమరి దికెవరు నారు, నీఖిలలోక జనని నన్ను చూడకు. ఇక్కడ పల్లవి అనుపల్లవి సేమ్ ప్యాటర్న్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఇది చరణం వచ్చేటప్పటికి అంటే డిఫరెంట్. తక్కిట తక్క దిగులో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. తామసం వీటుల సేయరాధికను తల్లి నమోర వీణ దయలేద సామిత ఫలదాయకి నీవే గద కామిత ఫలదాయకి నీవే గద శ్యామ కృష్ణ సహోదరి బ్రో చూడకు నిన్ను. కనెక్టింగ్ తక్కువ స్టార్ట్. This is a very critical పాడడం కష్టం అని నేర్చుకోవడం కూడా చాలా కష్టం. అంటే స్టడీ చేసినట్టు ఈ విషయాలన్నీ నాకు తెలుస్తుంది.
నమస్కారం పిలిచాడు. My bhakti-purvaka namaskaras at the lotus feet of Srila Almighty Venkateshwara Swami and Padmavati Devi. My sincere thanks to the esteemed Vice Chancellor of this great university, the Registrar, the Doctor of Examinations, the Dean, and the Professor Viva and Professor Shankar Ganesh and Professor esteemed Professor Padmavati and all the guest faculty and students. This gives me immense pleasure to be with you because a great professor has guided. The topic is 100% classical. And the researcher is also a serious, sincere, punctual student. My namaskars to Professor Padma Madam, ex-HOD of this department. When I received this thesis for education, I enjoyed when I observed the topic, the methodology followed, and everything. I wholeheartedly compliment Professor Premalata Madam and also the student researcher for this excellent selection of the topic. So always the selection of the topic is most important. So I have educated more than 100 plus doctoral theses from India and abroad. Very few theses they are up to the mark and above up to the mark. So this is one. As we know, Shama Shastri is Carnatic music. If we speak about Karnataka music, where is Karnataka music? Karnataka music, it is there. It is in the form of intuition. It is in the form of musical concepts. It is in the form of compositions. So Shama Shastri is the incarnation of Goddess Karnataka Sangeeta Saraswati. We call him as one of the trinities. In addition, I want to add one more. He is nothing but Karnataka Shastriya Sangeeta Saraswati. Actually, my dear friends, this thesis is enriched with the soul of music. Always, most of the musicians, most of the teachers, most of the listeners, they speak about the body of music. Very few people they observe, they think about the soul of music. Shama Shastri's compositions, they illuminate the soul of Karnataka music. They illuminate. Your thesis, it throws light on the inner soul of Shama Shastri's compositions. As a whole, music, there is music, whether it is in composition, is the composition, is music, or what is this question, where is music? Music is in our own soul. We are the music. That's why. So, Mimamsakaras, great Mimamsakaras says, we the Atman, we establish or we are in a way we are reflected. Viva, we are reflected in the form of any art. So art is our own self, in a way, Advaita Tattva. So we the Atman, it is music, it is painting, it is dance, not a play. A great scholar called Voce, Srikrishna Prakasha, he says, Shyama Shastri's compositions are nothing but the Atma Prakasha of Sri Shyama Shastri. Atma Prakasha of Sri Shyama Shastri. Human thesis, they throw light on the ingredients, on the atoms of Carnatic music factors. So here, one most important factor that I have observed is Shyama Shastri was an exponent of Siddhi Purusha. He was a Siddhi Purusha pertaining to Laya aspects. Two types of Laya are there. That is, Ekamatragam Hrasvamakum Vimatragam Adidikam Trimatragam Plutam Akunti. It is regarding Dravidian grammar, Dravidian chants. It speaks about different. My namaskar is to Dean sir. So Shyama Shastri has treated Laya with reference to Raga. Layas are there pertaining to literary elements. There are two portions, my dear Shyam. One is Dhatu and Matu. Dhatu Matu Samayuktam. It leads to the concept of. So when we speak about Matu, that is lyrics, okay, Matras are there, Ganas are there. At the same time, Dhatu is also, Dhatu has Laya. That is the uniqueness of Shyama Shastri. He has equated the Laya pertaining to Raga aspect, Dhatu aspect, and Laya pertaining to Matu aspect. Coming beautiful equation of these two. That's all. I think this Laya pertaining to Raga aspect may be incorporated in your thesis. So, because we cannot see more composers who have focused on the Laya aspect pertaining to Raga. For example, Ananda Bhairavi Raga, the Laya pertaining to Ananda Bhairavi cannot be the same with reference to other ragas. Similarly, with Yoga. Similarly, Ahiri. Manji, right? Manji. Yes, therefore, Raga Laya. This combination is unique in Shyama Shastri compositions. Therefore, this is a must observation. You can incorporate in your thesis. Adi Abhaya was the guru of Sri Shyama Shastri. So in my observation, I have noted it. So that Bhairavi Svarajati is there. Virikodi Varna is there, Adi Appaigaru. So then you can compare Laya aspect pertaining to Guru and Shishya. Compare what a beautiful observation and perspective. So, in a separate research, you can pursue further Laya aspect pertaining to the Varna of Sri Adi Appaigaru and Swarajati of Sri Shama Shastri. It is a beautiful study. Shama Shastri has followed the footprints of Adi Appaigaru and the Gavaka aspects, Ragalaya aspect, and legend. That would be better if you can incorporate in the same cases and publish, or you can publish in it as a separate paper. You can. That's all. Observations.
First you can ask the crowd.
The crowd will.
Yes. Anyone can raise any objections or
Any
comments. Any comments, any observations, చెప్పండి.
Now, you are all free to ask any questions or any kind of discussion based on the topic presentation and which is related to today's topic. If anybody wants to have any questions from the audience or observations?
భైరవి సర్యవరమ్మ ఒక సంస్కృతి అంత అద్భుతంగా చాలా అంటే కీర్తనలో కీర్తన చాలా అత్యద్భుతంగా ఉంటుంది. భైరవి సర్యవరమ్మ కొంచెం కొద్దిగా పాడాలి. ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. Very good presentation. Congratulations. I observed in your selection of compositions, you have selected mostly the Mr. Chapu Tada and Adi Tada Krishnagati, but Shama Shastri has dealt in with some other complicated forms of Tadas also. Maybe I felt that one or two might have been included in your analysis. Saryavarama, as Padma Madam has suggested, it is in Khanda Jati Champatan. Krishnagati and one or two other. Mr. Chapu and Viva Chapu. Mr. Chapu is included in Swarajatis already, and some talas like Khanda Jati and One Geetam is also there in Kandajati Madhyatadam. Kandajati Madhyatadam. One Geetam is also there. One or two compositions might have been, I felt personally, might have been included, and to enrich, it can be an addition, enriching your thesis and analysis. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
This also one small request I got to, just as a supervisor. Because when we are teachers, we look into the capacity of the students when we do. And this, the methodology adopted for analysis, even if it is one single kriti, it took such a, sir may be knowing. Please go through and see how in-depth and that, as the term used, I borrowed from him, the micro level analysis. So, we thought, when he suggested 10 or 12 songs, I just cut down few with great depth is required, and we will have a small boundary. Usually in research methodology they say you go deep, not go wide. So we had made the selection cut down little and gone into deep, because such a kind of, when you are including more and more, and our pressure of finishing it between this timeline, we won't be doing justice. That was our, as you said, now this analysis might lead us to write papers. This is the time you have to enrich your research experience or continue for your postdoctoral work, where you can take the left out ragas or talas or concepts. Because this exercise might, this is not for his work alone, for everybody also I say. Because many people think that our PhD thesis is the one and the only goal of our life, which is really not so. It is only a stepping stone. Just show a handful in your thesis. That will lead us to do a bowl full, which you can do it as separate papers or keep continuing, where you don't have this pressure of completing within that time 6-month report and all other formalities of PhD. So we had to actually cut down a few songs. Because he might feel, ma'am, I don't know, you only asked me not to do. So that I say, select kritis, even at the, I think even at the synopsis submission stage, we had to cut 2 more songs. Because this itself were running for pages. And we won't have, at time we become saturated, so the research output might get diluted. So that was the reason we had to cut few. But really, as you said, now anybody listening to this Viva can now start working on it also. This is just a comment from the teacher's point of view. Any other questions? I think then sir has to give his comments. I request our dean sir, Professor Rayadurgam. Sir, I take this opportunity to welcome, and we are highly delighted to be sir to be with us. Very encouraging, motivating, and the real energy booster for our department here. I would call it our department. For the music department, he has been that team. He is the team leader. So now, last time he said, before I retire, I want the other thesis also to be presented. Viva, I finish it and then only go. So that was another one. Make him run fast, finish it. We are looking forward for one more PhD. So, Professor Murli sir's voice always, see, right? He is a great sportsman and also teen students welfare. So he knows how to motivate students and keep the energy recharged. So I now request Professor Murli to give a few words.
Thank you, Dr. And I can tell very openly that she's one of my best colleagues on the campus. And I think I don't require mic also. I can bit sure, because I'm a student of political science and public administration. We have to manage not only the students but sometimes the officers also. As a student of this particular university right from 1983, a long journey of nearly 38 years, I have seen many of the theses being presented, including my own department. But there are few departments which, as a dean, faculty of arts, which are still fresh in my mind. One is Department of English, Department of Telugu, Department of Urdu, Department of Hindi, and the Department of Performing Arts. Even my department doesn't come under that. Because as for telling, I'm a sportsman. I have to be a bit honest and frank also. I don't consider the presentations which were made by my students, including my students in my department for the last 32 years, were not up to the mark. Thereby, 5 or 6 departments out of 28 departments in my college have that capacity. And I'm very much pleased and happy to be a part of this, and I want to congratulate especially all the research supervisors and the scholars who made me to come to that particular observation. And regarding your topic, I don't want to talk anything because relations between melody, text and tala in the select compositions of Shyama Shastri. I'm not an expert, but one thing, as my colleague was telling, I'm a sportsman and I like music also a lot. Right from 1970s when I was in Karapa, both classical as well as film music. And all my caller tunes will be the songs only. And people, students and my colleagues will be asking, how come you are still maintaining that? All the words are 1970s and 60s and 70s. Because I tell, I was brought up in that particular generation. And I belong to, I'm a cross between Karnataka and Andhra. My dad was from KGF, my mom was from Andhra. So thereby that's how we were brought. And with this particular department, I had a long association for more than 20 years when I became the Director of Students' Welfare and Cultural Affairs, which was an additional post given to me. At that time, Padma, Ganesh and one more was retired. They were kind enough to help us as far as the cultural events are concerned. That's how our association started and still continuing. Sometimes when I look at this particular department, and he is a very, very good friend of mine for the past 15 years. We share so many things. To be very honest with you. Just tell him something, he'll say that I do it so. Young and energetic. So it's how I always want to be. Because life is very short, friends. Enjoy as and especially the music. And I think last few months, before she was retiring, in one particular program she came and she was without her knowledge, she was tapping her fingers and everything and thighs. That shows the kind of involvement which Professor Padma had. The same thing for me also. Whenever I listen to some of the songs, automatically some of my parts will be starting tapping. And music is the best therapy nowadays with this tension world in which we are living. And this kind of classical music, people may not like it, but it doesn't matter. We have to encourage classical. Then only both the fusion of classical and modern can go together. Unfortunately, this present generation are missing the first part and going only to the second part, saying that this generation wants only the second part, but I don't accept it. If you make the students, especially the present generation, to know the value of classical music and classical dance, definitely. Last month we had a program in the auditorium. Normally you start with a movie song. I told the organizers, this is my program. We'll start with a classical dance. And one student from Department of Home Science, who was a former university representing in classical dance, she joined in MSc Home Science now, and she opened. People are asking, sir, how come you? That's immediately I told you. So in Telugu, అది నేను కాబట్టి classical dance తోనే will welcome all the gathering and things. So that's what it should be. It's not only in telling, but it should in implementation. That's what I believe in. And this Department of Performing Arts can do that work, and I hope that they will continue the work which they have been doing despite the men and material crunch, not only in my university, almost all the state universities in this country. And one good thing, my colleague has left this university and went to a better university. I don't know about that situation there, but in these universities where we are staying, what we have seen is that crunch is there. But still, this department, the Directorate of Students and Cultural Affairs, and some departments are pulling. I don't know how long can we pull. It's another 3 years, 7 months for me to go and retire as a professor. So my principalship is done with, and I have attended more than 5 Viva Voces right from 2020 August till today in this department. And I was very lucky to attend the 500th Viva Voce of Telugu department. 500 Viva Voce attend అయ్యాను. And I was very lucky. నేను యూనివర్సిటీలో జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు I never thought that I will be attending the 500th Viva Voce of some department. They have been maintaining the register. 500th Viva Voce ఎంత చక్కగా ప్రజెంట్ చేశాడంటే అబ్బాయి, for 1 hour 20 minutes he spoke సూపర్. తెలుగు మాట్లాడడం అంత ఈజీ కాదు. మనం అనుకుంటాం తెలుగు చాలా ఈజీగా మాట్లాడేయచ్చు, ఏముందిలే అని చెప్పేసి. మాట్లాడే భాష ఒక విధంగా ఉంటుంది, రాసే భాష ఒక విధంగా. మాట్లాడేది కూడా గ్రాంధికంగా మాట్లాడాలి వాళ్ళు. And that Viva Voce went for more than 2 hours. I was a bit shocked, surprised and happy to be a part of that 500th Viva Voce. That's still there in my, fresh in my mind. It happens only to few, and I'm very fortunate to be. And I think you too must have done well, because then coming down I could listen to your voice. It's very good. And congratulate you and also your research supervisor coming all the way from Tanjavur to be here. It's not that easy also, because the relationship is very, very important. Thank you very much, and especially to the subject expert who has come all the way from Mysore, one of the best cities, my father used to say. People are very soft. Mysore people are very soft. So, like that. So when you came and told me that the subject expert is coming from, yes, I was remembering my dad and the things which went on in my life. So I was telling the students also, I had a class from 10:30 to 11:30 in the law department. I was telling one subject expert was coming from my native place. So like that things have to grow. Thank you very much. And as your supervisor was telling, you can apply for postdoc and continue where this faculty has told you. So, no question stopping. You can continue if you wish to. Thank you very much, and thanks to each and every one of you for inviting me and remembering me and coming over to this. This is after a long time I'm seeing so many people coming and listening to a PhD. It's very, very good, because that shows the attraction which he has. Okay, thanks, Andy. Thank you.
To address, because before the meeting he didn't came. Now he joined in time, because our Muralidhar sir is a very long and good friend, young and energetic, always motivating our department to do something, and he never settled with and he never satisfied with also. He want quality. Every time he used to insist us to conduct quality meetings, quality in programs and quality in students. That is his service. In his period, our SP University won 7 South Zone inter-university prizes. 7 prizes in one South Zone competition.
That was a peak one day.
7 was the peak, because no any other university has won that much prizes. Only because of his and Banu sir, their motivation.
It's a team effort.
Team effort.
ఎందుకంటే వీళ్ళ రోల్ కూడా చాలా ఉందండి. పద్మా గారు, నన్ను ప్రేమ వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నాను. So they trained our students free of cost.
Very recently, his term was over as a principal. At that time also he managed to manage some around 17 to 18 departments as head. because there is no head, or if any head is going on leave, he acts as head of the department. And he is a multi-talented personality, tennis player, everything. We cannot stop very as a man. He is very, having multi-talented music also, he is very good taste. That's why. So, on behalf of our Department of Performing Arts, I am very much thankful to you, sir. Now I request Dr. C.S. Madhuri to convey her vote of thanks. Oh, sorry.
It is now time for our external expert to give the remarks on behalf of the examiners, and he has to conclude and give his verdict on it.
Dear friends, respected deans,